Stop begging for permission to be powerful. Every time you chase validation, you hand your identity to strangers who do not carry your consequences, your pain, or your future. You call it being liked. Stoicism calls it slavery, and the cost is brutal. You start living for reactions instead of results, applause instead of peace, attention instead of authority. If you've ever felt your mood rise and fall with a message, a comment, a look, a compliment or silence, you already know the prison. You start performing, you start explaining yourself, you start softening your truth so it fits inside someone else's comfort. And the worst part is this: even when you get the validation, it never fills you. It only trains you to need more. Today, we break that addiction, not with cute quotes, with 10 brutal Stoic rules that cut straight through the craving to be seen, approved, and chosen. Because the Stoic path is not to become cold, it's to become unshakable, to stop outsourcing your worth, to master yourself so deeply that praise can't inflate you and criticism can't destroy you. You will learn how to reclaim inner authority, how to act without announcing, how to stay disciplined when nobody claps, and how to build a self so solid that validation becomes irrelevant. And as we go, I want you to leave one sentence in the comments: I approve myself. Not to impress anyone, only to mark the moment you stop negotiating with the world for permission to be you. If you're ready to stop seeking and start commanding your own mind, like this video and subscribe. This is where silent fighters become unbreakable. Rule number 1. End the auction of your worth. Stop putting your value on the table and waiting for strangers to clap. Validation is an auction, and every time you chase it, you sell pieces of your peace to the highest bidder. The Stoic draws a hard line. My worth is not decided by applause, attention, or approval. It is decided by my conduct. Epictetus is blunt. What is up to you is yours, your judgments, choices, and actions. What is not up to you is foreign, opinions, moods, praise, rejection. When you build your identity on foreign things, you become a servant to them. So the first rule is to relocate your center. Move your self-respect from reactions to principles. When the craving hits, when you want the message back, the compliment, the good job, the reassurance, pause and name it. I am seeking permission. Then redirect immediately to a controllable action. 1 rep, 1 page, 1 focused hour, 1 honest boundary, 1 disciplined choice. This is how you break the loop. Replace begging with building. At night, keep a Stoic ledger. Write 3 lines. What I did with courage, what I did with restraint, what I will correct tomorrow. Do not use it to punish yourself. Use it to govern yourself. The ledger trains a deeper reward, the quiet satisfaction of alignment, and practice 1 unseen win daily. Do something useful that nobody can credit you for. Clean up a mess, finish a task, help without announcing. Your nervous system learns a new truth. I can act without witnesses. Validation is a fragile drug. Virtue is stable nourishment. Choose nourishment. If this rule hits you, write in the comments, I stop bidding for approval. I invest in discipline. Let that sentence mark the shift from performance to principle, from noise to authority. Rule number 2. Practice silent excellence. Stop announcing who you are becoming. Announcements are often a substitute for work, and work done for attention weakens the will. The Stoic rule is ruthless and simple. Let your actions mature in silence before you let them speak. When you tell people your plans too early, you borrow motivation from their reactions. When those reactions fade, so does your discipline. Silent excellence builds a different engine. You act because it is right, not because it is seen. You train when no one is watching. You study when no one is impressed. You improve without an audience. This is how inner authority is formed. Self-respect grows when promises are kept in private. Notice how validation creeps in. You want to post the workout, share the progress, explain the struggle, receive encouragement, pause, translate that urge into effort instead. Ask one question only: what is the next concrete step? Then take it immediately. The next step is always within your control. Applause is not. Adopt the discipline of quiet wins. Choose one demanding action each day and do it without documentation. No photos, no stories, no hints. Let it exist only between you and your conscience. Over time, this rewires your reward system. You stop craving recognition because you are fed by completion. Use silence in conversation as well. You do not need to prove how hard you are working or how much you know. Precision beats noise. When you speak less, your words carry weight. When you explain less, your decisions stand taller. Your exercise is simple but uncomfortable. For 7 days, improve one area of your life in total secrecy. At the end, write one line in your journal: "I kept going without being seen." That sentence is power. It cuts the dependency on attention and replaces it with something unbreakable. Silent excellence turns discipline into identity, and when results finally appear, they do not beg for validation, they announce themselves. Rule number 3. Detach from outcomes. Commit to principles. Validation addiction is outcome addiction. You do the right thing, then you secretly wait for a reward, approval, recognition, a warmer tone, a faster reply, a sign that you mattered. When the reward doesn't arrive, you feel cheated. That feeling is the chain. Stoicism breaks it by separating what you control from what you don't. You control intention and effort. You do not control reactions, timing, or fairness. So the rule is this: commit to principles, not applause. Choose a code and live it, whether you are celebrated or ignored. Be honest because truth is clean, not because honesty is liked. Be disciplined because discipline is freedom, not because discipline gets compliments. Be respectful because it is right, not because it makes people approve of you. The moment your virtue depends on being rewarded, it stops being virtue and becomes performance. Before any important action, rehearse the Stoic contract. Say to yourself, "I will do my part. The outcome is not mine." This removes the hidden negotiation you make with the world. You stop doing good to be seen. You start doing good because you refuse to be the kind of person who doesn't. When disappointment hits, do not dramatize it. Audit it. Ask one question: did I act with integrity? If yes, you have already won. If no, correct the behavior and move forward. Either way, you stay in control of what matters. Your exercise is detachment training. Picture doing your best work and receiving nothing. No praise, no credit, maybe even criticism. Then decide, "I will still do it." Repeat this until the nervous system relaxes. This is how you become unbribable. If you want a sentence that locks this rule into your mind, write in the comments: "I don't chase outcomes, I obey principles." That is the Stoic pivot. And once you live from principles, external validation becomes optional, not necessary. Rule number 4. Choose discomfort over approval. Approval is comfort. It feels warm because it tells you, you belong. But if belonging requires you to betray yourself, it is not belonging, it is dependence. The Stoic rule is brutal. Choose discomfort over approval. Every time you pick comfort, you strengthen the need for validation. Every time you pick discomfort, you strengthen inner authority. Discomfort is where the chains show. The chain appears when you want to say no, but you say yes to stay liked. When you want to speak truth, but you stay silent to avoid tension. When you want to leave, but you stay to avoid being judged. Stoicism trains you to tolerate the heat of disapproval without abandoning your values. Start with voluntary discomfort, not for drama, but for control. Take the cold shower, not to prove toughness, but to practice obedience to reason over impulse. Do the difficult task first, not because it's motivating, but because it trains courage. Sit in silence for 10 minutes without reaching for your phone. Your mind will itch. That itch is the old dependency begging for relief. Stay still. Watch it. Let it pass. This is how you learn that urges do not command you. Then apply discomfort socially. Practice clean boundaries. Say no without excuses. The more you explain, the more you reveal you're seeking permission. Keep it respectful and firm. I can't. I won't. Not this time. Let the other person feel what they feel. Their emotions are not your job to manage. Also practice the powerful pause. When someone questions you, don't rush to defend your image. Feel the pressure, breathe and respond, only if it is useful and true. A calm pause is a signal. You are not controlled by approval or fear. Your exercise. One clean no, every day for a week. No speeches, no guilt performances, just a boundary. Rule number 5. Stop explaining yourself. Most validation seeking hides inside one habit: over-explaining. You give long reasons, extra context, emotional footnotes, and repeated clarifications because you want one thing: approval. You want to be understood, excused, forgiven, and accepted. Stoicism replaces that hunger with a harder strength: clarity without pleading. Here is the rule: state your decision, then let it stand. You are allowed to be misunderstood. You are allowed to disappoint people. You are allowed to choose what is right for your life without building a courtroom defense for it. When you over-explain, you hand your power to other people's judgments and invite them to negotiate your boundary. Marcus Aurelius trained his mind to stop chasing the crowd's interpretation. People will think what they think. Their minds are not your property. Your job is not to control their story about you. Your job is to control your character. The moment you accept that, your speech becomes cleaner and your presence becomes heavier. Practice concise communication. Replace "I'm sorry, I just" with "here's what I will do." Replace "please understand" with "this is my decision." Replace defensive paragraphs with a calm sentence and silence. Silence is not weakness. Silence is the refusal to beg. This rule also applies online. Stop arguing with strangers. Stop correcting every comment. Stop chasing fairness in places that profit from drama. Your attention is your life. Spend it where it builds you, not where it drains you. Your exercise, the 3-sentence discipline. In any tense situation, limit yourself to 3 sentences. Sentence 1, the fact. Sentence 2, the boundary or decision. Sentence 3, the next step. Then stop talking. Let the quiet hold the line. Write in the comments: "I don't plead for approval. I speak with clarity." The more you stop explaining, the more you stop performing. And the more you stop performing, the more you return to yourself steady, simple, and unmanipulable. Rule number 6. Treat praise and blame as weather. Praise and blame are the same trap, wearing different masks. Praise tempts you to depend. Blame tempts you to defend. Both try to control your mood, your identity, and your decisions. The Stoic rule is sharp. Treat praise and blame as whether pleasant or unpleasant, but never authoritative. When someone praises you, receive it lightly. Say thank you and return to your work. Do not drink it like water, because then you will need it every day. And when someone blames you, do not collapse or rage. Listen for facts. Correct what is true. Discard what is noise. The goal is not to be emotionless. The goal is to be unhooked. Most people suffer because they add stories. Praise becomes, "Now I'm finally worthy." Criticism becomes, "I'm failing, I'm rejected, I'm not enough." These stories are chains. The Stoic stays with reality. Words were said, opinions were expressed, but my character is still mine to shape. Use a simple filter. Ask, is there information here that helps me improve? If yes, take it without ego. Improvement is not humiliation, it is power. If no, release it without resentment. Resentment is agreeing to carry someone else's poison. Train steadiness with 2 practices. First, negative visualization. Before you step into a room, imagine being ignored, underestimated, or criticized. Then decide, I will act with virtue anyway. This prepares your nervous system to stay calm when outcomes aren't kind. Second, praise fasting. For a week, when someone compliments you, respond with only thank you. No extra explanations, no fishing for more. This teaches you to accept warmth without dependence. Your comment exercise. Write, praise won't inflate me. Blame won't control me. When you live this rule, people lose the ability to steer you with approval or punish you with disapproval. You become steady, and steadiness is the true status. Rule number 7. Build inner authority through daily vows. Inner authority is not something you declare, it is something you earn. The reason you crave validation is often simple. Your mind does not fully trust you yet. When you break promises to yourself, you feel unstable inside, so you reach outside for reassurance. Stoicism fixes this at the root with one rule: make daily vows and keep them. These vows must be small, specific, and controllable, not dramatic goals that depend on perfect conditions. A vow is a command you can execute today. I will train for 30 minutes. I will complete the hardest task first. I will not complain. I will not scroll after 9 p.m. I will speak truthfully in one difficult moment. When you keep a vow, you make a deposit into self-respect. When you break it, you create internal debt, and debt makes you seek external comfort. Write your vows in the morning. Review them at night. If you fail, do not punish yourself. Audit yourself. Ask, what triggered me? What weakness showed up? What adjustment removes the excuse tomorrow? The Stoic is a strategist, not a self-hater. Self-hate is still ego. Strategy is discipline. Add one vow that hurts. One vow that forces discomfort and reveals the addiction. Maybe it is waking early, removing sugar, going silent on social media, or committing to an hour of deep work daily. Keep it for 7 days. Your craving for validation will spike because you removed a coping mechanism. That spike is proof you are detoxing. Also add a 2-minute ritual of presence. Sit, breathe, and say, my intentions are mine, my actions are mine. Then move. This re-centers you before the world starts pulling. Rule number 8. Shrink the audience in your head. Most of your anxiety does not come from real people. It comes from an imaginary audience living in your mind. You rehearse conversations that never happen, fear judgments that are never spoken, and perform for people who are not watching. This mental crowd fuels validation seeking. Stoicism clears it out. The rule is simple. Shrink the audience in your head to 1, your rational self. Everyone else is temporary noise. People are absorbed in their own fears, ambitions, and insecurities. They do not study you the way you think they do. Realizing this is not cynical. It is freeing. When self-consciousness rises, name the distortion. This is the spotlight effect. Your brain is exaggerating how much attention you are receiving. Correct it deliberately. Look around. Notice how everyone is managing their own lives. The pressure dissolves when you return to reality. Practice intentional anonymity. Go somewhere and choose not to stand out. Walk without performance. Work without signaling. Let yourself be ordinary. This is a powerful ego discipline. It teaches your nervous system that attention is not required for survival or meaning. Add the practice of unseen service. Do something kind without leaving fingerprints. Help, clean, give, or fix without being credited. This breaks the association between goodness and applause. Virtue becomes internal again. Your weekly exercise, 1 full day of no performance, no posting, no hinting, no explaining. Dress simply, speak simply, focus on doing what needs to be done. At first, the mind will panic. Will I disappear? Let that panic burn out. You will still exist. You will feel lighter. Write in the comments, "I don't live for the audience in my head." When you shrink the audience, your decisions sharpen. You stop choosing what looks impressive and start choosing what is right. And paradoxically, when you stop performing, your presence becomes calmer and more respected, because it is real. Rule number 9. Measure yourself by standards, not opinions. When you measure yourself by opinions, your life becomes unstable. Praise lifts you, criticism crushes you, silence confuses you. That is not strength, that is dependency. Stoicism replaces this chaos with structure by teaching one essential rule: measure yourself by standards, not opinions. Opinions are emotional, inconsistent, and often uninformed. Standards are chosen deliberately and refined through discipline. The Stoic does not ask, "What do they think of me?" He asks, "Did I live according to my code today?" That single shift removes the hunger for validation. You must define your standards clearly, not vague values, but concrete measures you can track. Hours of focused work, physical training sessions completed, promises kept, patience practiced under pressure, truth spoken when it was uncomfortable, money managed responsibly. These are metrics within your control. If a metric depends on someone else's reaction, it is not a Stoic metric. Create a simple weekly review. Sit alone and audit yourself honestly. Where did I act with courage? Where did I avoid discomfort? Where did I betray my standards to stay comfortable or liked? This is not self-attack, it is self-command. A mind without standards drifts. A mind with standards advances. When criticism comes, run it through your standards. If it reveals a real violation, correct it without shame. Correction is power. If it does not, release it immediately. Do not argue with opinions that fail your test. When praise comes, do the same. If you earned it by your standards, accept it calmly. If it exceeds reality, discard it. Your exercise: write a personal code in one short paragraph. 3 to 5 sentences describing how you live and decide. Read it daily. Write in the comments, "I answer to my standards, not opinions." When you live this rule, validation becomes background noise. Direction comes from discipline, and discipline builds a life that does not need permission to stand tall. Rule number 10. Become the person who needs nothing. The final step is not to be liked less, it is to need less. Validation seeking ends when your spirit becomes self-sufficient, steady in praise, steady in rejection, steady in silence. Stoicism calls this freedom, the ability to stand upright without leaning on external confirmation. Here is the rule: become the person who needs nothing to be whole. Not isolation, not coldness, but independence of mind. Identify what you call needs that are really cravings: attention, reassurance, being chosen, being understood, being constantly affirmed. These cravings are chains because they make other people's reactions a requirement for your peace. Start dismantling them with internal fulfillment. Build a life that rewards you through process, not applause. Training your body, sharpening a skill, reading, creating, working with focus, serving quietly, praying or reflecting, journaling with honesty. These practices create a deep, private satisfaction that cannot be taken away by someone's mood. Next, strengthen gratitude. Validation seeking is a deficit mindset. I am not enough until they confirm me. Gratitude flips the frame. I already have enough to act with dignity today. Each morning, name 3 things you have that require no permission: breath, time, strength, a mind that can learn, a chance to improve. Then practice rejection rehearsal. Once a week, do something that risks a no. Ask for an opportunity, propose an idea, request a favor, pitch your work. Accept the no calmly. Treat it as information, not a verdict. Your nervous system must learn that rejection does not reduce your worth. It only refines your direction. And remember, needing nothing does not mean you reject love. It means you can receive love without dependence. You can be praised without being inflated. You can be criticized without being controlled. You can be ignored without being diminished. Write in the comments, "I need nothing to be steady." That is the Stoic finish line. When you stop needing validation, you stop being buyable. And that is mastery of self. If you have listened this far, understand this. The need for validation was never a flaw in you. It was a habit you were trained into, a habit of outsourcing your worth, your confidence, and your direction to a world that changes its mind every day. Stoicism does not ask you to hate people or withdraw from life. It asks you to come home to yourself. You now have the rules, not to impress others, but to govern your own mind. The moment you stop begging for approval is the moment your energy shifts. You speak cleaner, you move with purpose. You feel lighter because you are no longer carrying the weight of everyone else's expectations. Remember this: praise is temporary, criticism is loud, and silence is common. None of them are verdicts. The only verdict that matters is the one you deliver daily through discipline, restraint, courage, and honesty. When you live this way, confidence stops being something you feel and becomes something you demonstrate. You will still be misunderstood. You will still be ignored at times. Let that happen. A Stoic does not need to be constantly seen to know who he is. He measures himself by his actions, not reactions. If this message strengthened you, like the video and subscribe, and write this in the comments, not for others but for yourself. I approve myself. I master myself. Walk forward quietly. Stay disciplined. And remember, when you stop seeking validation, you start leading your life.